Today, we're going to show you how to cut down an entire beef tenderloin into filet mignons, save some money. We've got some family coming in town this week and we're going to be grilling out some steaks, and we decided to go ahead and pick up some nice filet mignon. Now, instead of just buying the individual pieces, which you could pay anywhere from $29 to $39 a pound when you get those individually trimmed ones, you can buy an entire tenderloin filet, and I'll show you how you break this thing down. This is 6.5 pounds, it was $123. This is Angus beef and this is choice, it's not prime, but we'll tell you, I'll show you how we're going to vacuum seal this, flavorful, get it full of flavor for 2 days prior to cooking it. So today is all about prepping. Let me show you how we go ahead and do this. All right, let's get this guy open. I like to do this over a little tub or something. It just kind of keeps your area neat and clean. I feel backwards cutting that direction. And I always open it from the thicker end because that way, as you grab the meat and you pull it out, you can let the juices stay right into the bag. We definitely don't want all that on the cutting board while we're trying to get this cleaned up. So, there we go. Now, there's a couple things you got to know about this. You definitely want to clear up what they call the chain. We want to pull that off of here. Easiest way to do this is sort of get yourself oriented a little bit here. Kind of find this. Usually you can just get your finger tucked right into it. All right, let me show you what this looks like up close. Now, if you kind of just keep rubbing your finger along here, you'll feel this where it begins to separate. This is what they call the chain. You can actually separate most of this on your own and with just your hands, and then just use the knife where it's needed. See how that separates? This is actually the tenderloin. And we'll go ahead and just get this guy pulled right off of here where you need to. We'll just kind of come in here and trim very gently. We definitely want to separate these two pieces of meat here. And this is sinewy or whatever it's called, comes off pretty easily. We're going to trim this up in just a few minutes, but you see how this chain is coming right off of here. Now, look. Yeah. Once you have this good and separated like this, make sure you can see that. Now, you'll need to use your knife a little bit here to kind of help this along. And then we're going to trim this piece right off of here. You notice I don't go deep slice through there. I'm just going real gentle because I want to keep the majority of the meat on the steaks. All right. There we go. Now this, we'll get some of this, silvery skin stuff off of here, but like this part, great for grinding up in your ground beef. Let's just throw it in here. We'll clean that up in a little bit. This is all about the steaks first. Now, what we have is we've got our entire tenderloin here. This is filet mignon. These are where you're going to cut your steaks, and then you can kind of do some beef tips, and I'll even show you how to butterfly these to get more out of it. We're just going to clean this up a little bit more. We want to trim off some of this fat. Now, this sort of thicker white fat, this stuff is great in ground beef. So we'll just trim that up, kind of keep it right here on the edge. They like chunks like this, perfect for your ground beef. It'll break down real nice in there. Pull as much of this off with my hands as I can, because if you can get it off with your hand, it's a heck of a lot easier than trying to use the knife and potentially taking some of the meat with it. So get as much of that off as we can. Where you need to trim, go ahead. I do enjoy just doing this by hand first. Get the majority of these little pieces of fat off that you can put in your mix for grind and chop beef. And then I take this silver skin like stuff and I put that in the discard section. So I have 3 sections in my little pan over here. All right, now you can certainly trim some of these off. This is where the back side of the ribs went along the meat. If you look at this, turn it around, it might be easier to see. You see where the ribs were sort of along here? So there's a little bit of fat along here. That's okay though. There's a lot of this is the kind of stuff that cooks down. I know Deb, my wife, likes hers very lean. So pulling these out of here, and I'll do hers at the very end. I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. Some of this fat here. And where those little thin edges are, I just like to trim that up. Cooks a lot more evenly if there's no little thin strands there to sort of overcook, if you will. Once we have this side cleaned up a little bit, now we need to come in here and get rid of this silver skin. And then the silver skin kind of tucks into this V right here. I'll show you how we get that. Basically, what we want to do is kind of take our knife, go right down in here, shake it a little bit. Now, you want to pull it toward this end. And once you do, now what you want to do is tip your knife upward and just kind of go right down this as long as you can. By tipping your knife upward, you will get that whole strand, and ideally, not all that much meat on the bottom of it. So when you look at the back side of that, just not a lot of meat on there, which is exactly what we want. We do not want to waste any of that good stuff. Same thing here. I'm gonna come underneath this, come this direction, and do that for a couple of inches, and then tip your knife upward, pull this tight, almost like filleting a fish, you know? Now, here I want to go at an angle right there. Do the same with this piece. So now what we want to do is, you'll notice that that silver skin kind of goes down into this little slot here. So we want to open that up. This is a little tricky. You're not going to be able to use that same trick. Basically just want to gently cut along that. Now you can leave this in here, but that is a really tough bite. If you're going to have a delicious piece of filet, you don't want that. Now we're going to go the other direction, the other side of this V, if you will. And just keep going on both sides until you get through it. Once you see you're through it, there you go. Now, when we slice this up, you don't have that piece in there. We can go a little further. I can see there's still some right in here too. Not very deep here though. What we'll do is we'll square this end up a little bit here. Definitely save this. This will make some great filet bites or something. Now, here's where I can cut my steaks. And I like to do mine about 2 inches or 2 fingers thick. That's just sort of my preference. You kind of do it however you like. And our piece here, 2 fingers. Yeah, nice looking little fillet right there. Again, same thing. 2 fingers. Oh, that's a big boy there. Probably should have done that one just a tad thinner. Now, we could cut that off of there, but I think I'm gonna, because this one's gonna be pretty big size, I'm gonna cut this one just a tad thinner. This will allow me to do a medium as well and still be really good. So with this one, there you go. Again, good looking steaks right there. Now we're getting a little smaller, so we're gonna go 2 fingers again. All right, and here's where I should have trimmed this a little better. So I'm gonna trim that piece off of there. I'm gonna cut this steak before I trim that next one again. 2 fingers, and then we'll just trim this little piece of the fat off right here. These are probably about, I don't know, maybe 8-ounce fillets or so at this size. I'm gonna come in with this one and go about 3 fingers now. Show you what we do with this. Scoot this over. Now, in order to make this one large steak, we're gonna at the flattest side, so that bottom side, down. We're going to take this right down the middle. We're going to cut it about 3/4 of the way or so. Essentially, what we're doing is we're butterflying this. A little bit more there. Now, you have a wonderful steak. Look at that thing. Cook that on the grill. That will be wonderful. I'm going to do another small one here. Now, normally these you start just breaking this up for grind or something, but this is also pretty darn good. I'm gonna make steaks out of these couple here, and the rest we'll save for grind. So, you trim this up nice and rounded here. There you go. See, if you sort of pack these into a little round shape, you get these beautiful, beautiful steaks. All right, this goes in my grind. Same thing on prep this one here. Cut some of this fat off for the grind. And then the edge here, I'm going to kind of round this off a little bit. Again, beautiful, beautiful steak right there. Save some of this for doing fajitas. Cutting these just maybe a little more than a 1/4 inch thick, and we will flat top these or we will grill them for just a few moments. And we'll cut them up into bits, put them in tacos. Just a little experimental thing there. We've got our fajita meat right here, or this could be for stir fry. You kind of pick and choose what you would do with this. And then we have our butterflied fillet, our thick fillet. These are at the very end of it, at the head, and then these are all the nice small fillets. All that for $123. Go out to a dinner somewhere, you're gonna pay $25 to $40 even at a cheaper steakhouse. So this is a great way to save some money, and it is absolutely delicious. I'll show you how we're gonna vacuum seal these up. We're gonna put a little bit of soy sauce, Worcestershire, and salt in there, seal it up, and let it get flavorful. So I'm gonna take all my steaks and I'm gonna pop them in this little container real quick, just so that way I can go inside. I'll put them in the vacuum seal bags, get some of our seasoning in it, and I'll show you what these guys look like. I'm gonna get to trimming this piece that I talked about before. I wanna get this silver skin stuff out of here. I don't want this in my grind for burgers down when you cook it. Remember, ground beef, you want it to be 80-20, 75-25, 70-30, right? That's good. I'm just cutting this up into some pieces now. Now this fat, perfectly renderable down. It'll grind up real good. Now, this is that chain I was telling you about. The chain's good meat, right? You can kind of see, they call it a chain though, because at each rib, you can sort of stick your finger in there and you can pull them apart. It's like links to a chain, right? So that's the chain, because it has all these sections in it. But I like to separate them that way, and then I go ahead and cut them off fairly close to where they separate, because there's some silver skin in there. Again, look at that. Got a good sharp knife. It's a great way to clean it right off of there. And then once the silver skin's down pretty thin, I just leave it there. This will go right into the grind. Do the same now with the next chain, if you will. Over here. Yeah, right here. Hey, do me a favor. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more like it, subscribe to the channel and click on that little bell notification so you get notified of new videos. Thanks. This is going to be my trash side. So what I ended up with here is, I don't know, let's call it 1.5 pounds of us stuff for grind. I have my stir fry or fajita meat, and I have all my fillets. Okay, so after trimming those, I went ahead and I bagged them up. I put them in some vacuum seal bags. I have 7 steaks in this one, just for family's over. I have my trimmings that I'm gonna vacuum seal, put in the freezer, and next time I make some ground beef, we'll use that. I have 2 additional fillets. I'm just gonna package those up separately. Don't need them for the next dinner. And then I took those little slices and I'm gonna put some taco seasoning meat in those. So let's go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with these steaks. Essentially what I do is just kind of angle them up here a little bit, and I've put salt and a little bit of MSG mixed together on the steaks, and then I'm also going to go ahead and put in just a tad bit of Worcestershire and a tad bit of soy sauce. Now I don't want a lot of this, just about maybe a teaspoon to tablespoon of each sitting in here, and we vacuum seal it. It's all going to infuse into that meat over the next 2 days or so. So let me just go ahead and open this up. A couple of spurts here of our Worcestershire. It might be 2 teaspoons maybe. And then we'll do the same thing of the soy sauce. And I like these because as you shake them, they sort of spurt out. So it's not like, you don't have to worry about getting a whole lot of it in there. There we go. For our taco seasoning meat, I'll show you what I did with this. We're gonna be making some chicken thighs and cooking them up for fajitas that we'll have later this week. So I just went ahead and made some taco seasoning mix. It's essentially a bunch of cumin, salt, pepper, garlic, right? The typical seasonings you put on taco meat, but I went ahead and put this in about 2/3 of a cup of warm water just to help it dissolve. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour just a little bit of that down in this bag. Not a whole lot, but I wanna infuse that flavor in here. I figure I'm probably gonna put in, I don't know, 1.5 tablespoons, but there's not a whole lot of meat in here. So you can see just a little bit of liquid in the bottom. So let me go ahead and get these sealed up, come back out and show you what they look like. So we keep our vacuum sealer in the pantry. So anyway, let me kind of show you. There you go. There's the fillets infused with a little bit of that soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, salt, and MSG. That'll be perfect. They'll sit for 2 days and we'll cook them. We'll leave them in the fridge. I've got those remaining 2. I'll throw these in the freezer. The nice thing is when you vacuum seal these, you can put them in the freezer. You don't have to worry about freezer burn. They're good for a little bit of time. We'll do this and probably take them back out next week or so, have steaks with the girls. I then have those trimmings that I made to make some fajita meat. I'm gonna leave this in the fridge because we're actually doing fajitas in a couple of days. We're also gonna be seasoning up some chicken the exact same way, chicken thighs. And then I have my grind pile, and I just went ahead and vacuum sealed this. I leave this flat in the freezer. Once that freezes, I stand them all up in the corner. When I get about 4 to 5 pounds of this stuff, I'll grind it all up and we'll have some delicious ground beef. Hope you guys found this helpful and useful. We'll see you next time.